Should I start?
Yes, Sakshi, please go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Nikita Papers Limited maiden earnings call to discuss H2 and FY25 financial performance. The financial results and investor presentation has been uploaded on Exchange, and you can refer to the same during the discussion. We have on the call Mr. Ayush Bansal, Executive Director, Mr. Anuj Bansal, Promoter, and Mr. Atul Eron, CFO. We must remind you that the discussion on today's call may include certain forward-looking statements and must therefore be viewed in conjunction with the risk that the company may faces. May I now request Mr. Ayush Bansal to take us through the company's business outlook and financial highlights, after which we will open the floor for Q&A. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sakshi. Good afternoon, everyone. I am truly delighted to connect with you all following our successful IPO listing. FY25 marked a landmark year in the history of Nikita Papers, and we are enthusiastic about the road ahead. We look forward to continued engagement with you as we advance on our growth journey. Since this is our maiden call, I would like to take this opportunity to talk about Nikita Papers a little. Nikita Papers is a prominent waste paper and municipal waste recycling company, specializing in the production of high-quality kraft paper used extensively in corrugation packaging. Backed by 35 years of industry expertise, Nikita Papers uses 100% recycled waste paper as a primary raw material and leverages captive power of 1.5 megawatt solar plant and 3.5 megawatt municipal waste-to-energy plant to sustainably recycle paper. Our product portfolio includes a wide range of kraft paper, variants including corrugation paper, carry bag paper, and fluting paper, catering to packaging, industrial, and commercial applications. We serve a diverse and loyal customer base comprising corrugated box manufacturers, FMCG companies, and packaging solution providers across India. Nikita's specialization in manufacturing of high-quality kraft paper has facilitated import substitution as well. Backed by long-standing relationships with a reliable network of domestic and international suppliers for waste paper and other raw materials, the company has a robust procurement ecosystem. Nikita's strong focus on sustainability through initiatives like zero liquid discharge, captive waste-to-energy plant, a solar power plant, and lean operational efficiency underscores its commitment to the circular economy and positions it well for future growth. This commitment is further reinforced by favorable regulatory and industry tailwinds. The implementation of plastic waste management rules, which bans single-use plastic since July 2022, is accelerating demand for economic-friendly alternatives like kraft paper. Nikita stands to benefit directly by complying with extended producer responsibilities, EPRs, norms, and generating EPR credits, creating an additional revenue stream. On the industry front, kraft paper accounts for 55% of the packaging grade paper segment, which itself represents 70% of India's total paper consumption. With the kraft paper market projected to grow from 7.67 million tons in financial year 2023 to 12.5 million tons by financial year 2030 at a CAGR of 10% between FY23 and FY28. Nikita is well positioned to capitalize on this rising demand and chart a path of sustained long-term growth. Coming to financial year 25 performance, I am pleased to share that Nikita has concluded the year on a strong note, driven by consistent operational excellence. Over the past 4 years, the company has maintained a solid growth trajectory, achieving impressive CAGRs of 33% in revenue, 42% in EBITDA, and 66% in PAT. So before diving into operational and financial highlights, I would like to throw some key highlights on the strategic updates. So Nikita Paper successfully raised 67.5 crore through IPO in May 2025, and the proceeds are intended to be used for setting up a waste-to-energy power plant, meeting working capital requirement needs, and supporting general corporate purposes. As you know, Nikita currently operates captive power source comprising a 3.5 megawatt municipal waste-to-energy plant and a 1.5 megawatt solar rooftop plant. It is planning to expand its renewable energy portfolio by setting up a 9 megawatt refuse-derived fuel (RDF) based waste-to-energy power plant. The estimated capital expenditure for the same is approximately rupees 50 crores. With this expansion, the company will achieve 100% energy self-sufficiency and completes its transition to green power within the next 15 to 18 months. Now coming to the financial year 25 operational performance, Nikita achieved a strong capacity utilization of 82%, producing approximately 1.08 lakh metric tons of paper during the year. Compared to the previous year, capacity utilization declined mainly due to two factors. First, the company transitioned its captive power generation from biomass to municipal solid waste derived RDF, which reduced the power plant's capacity generation but provided significant cost savings. Second, there was a strategic shift towards producing specialty grade paper, which resulted in lower production volumes compared to standard grades, but aligns with the company's value-driven growth objectives. The annual procurement mix of waste paper in financial year 25 comprised 88% domestic and 12% imported waste. Sales volume stood strong at 1.08 lakh metric tons. Now moving to financial results for H2 and FY25, revenue from operations has increased to 370 crores, up 9% year-on-year on annual basis, and to rupees 201 crores, up 12% year-on-year on half-yearly basis. EPR sales contributed to rupees 5.29 crores to revenue in financial year 25. EBITDA increased by 24% to rupees 50 crores on an annual basis and by 18% to rupees 27 crores on half-yearly basis. H2 and FY25 EBITDA margins stood strong at 13% plus. Profit after tax increased to rupees 23 crores, up 11% year-on-year on annual basis, and to rupees 13 crore, up 2% year-on-year on half-yearly basis. The return on equity and ROCE stood strong at 22% and 12%. To conclude, Nikita is planning to simplify its group structure to enable seamless integration across the value chain and unlock synergies. It is also set to broaden its product portfolio by developing advanced kraft paper grades and tailored solutions to meet evolving customer needs. A key priority is the proposed 9 megawatt waste to energy plant aimed at achieving 100% energy self-sufficiency and a complete shift to green power within 2 years. Supply chain optimization through technology adoption and procurement streamlining is also on the agenda, along with expanding market reach by entering the B2C segment and showcasing its specialty paper products on international platforms exhibitions like Dubai, Cairo, Dhaka, and Saudi Arabia. With over 35 years of industry expertise, premium kraft paper production capabilities, growing captive power integration, regulatory tailwinds, and a strong operational and financial foundation, Nikita is well positioned to deliver long-term sustainable growth. Friends, that's all from me. I would now request to open the floor for question and answers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayushji. Since we have kept the format a little bit more informal, and obviously we'll take questions. Atul, can you please type your question in the chat box? So, Ayushji, I just wanted to start with, both you and Anuj look very young. How did you start this company? Can you give us a little bit background, because most of the viewers are...
Rakeshji, we started this company in 1992. Back then, we are the third generation in the company now, started by our late grandfather, Shri Naresh Chandra Bansal. So we had one machine with a modest capacity of 4,000 tons per annum. Presently, that machine approximately operates at 35 to 40,000 tons per annum. In January 2021, during COVID period, we were happy to install a second machine, which is a state-of-the-art machine, which adds another 250 tons per day capacity. Our total plant capacity presently now is 133,000 tons per annum. So that is a small growth story. We had a captive power plant, which was operating on coal, and we took a conscious decision to convert it into biomass in 2018. Thereafter, in 2022, we came up with this idea of waste to energy, generating power from waste. So we converted a lot of our plant from biomass to waste to energy.
Okay.
So that has been the growth story till now. We have a rooftop solar installed with us. So there is a lot of shift that we have on the energy side. We are working towards generating green energy, towards self-sustainability. And there is a lot of working that we do on the lean practices in the plant also.
Okay. So when you started in 1991 with 4,000 tons per year capacity, did you start with a recycled paper only directly, or what were you using as raw material at that point in time?
So that point of time, Rakeshji, we were not operating on recycled paper. We were operating on virgin fiber that was collected from agricultural waste such as bagasse, wheat straw, and husk. Looking into the environment concerns, and there was a conscious shift on shifting to recycling. Now there is a lot of, we presently are a paper company that is producing products out of waste. So we have shifted from agro waste to recycled. All of the waste paper that we use presently is collected from domestic throwouts or industrial or shopping malls, and there is a value chain system that supplies it back to us. So presently we don't operate anything on the fiber, which is a fresh fiber or a wood fiber. We are 100% operational on waste product, from waste to products.
So, Ayush, can you tell us a little bit about this collection process? How do we collect? Do we take it through some scrap dealers, or how does the scrap come to us? Do we have any centers that we have developed for collection of this?
Rakeshji, we have appointed integrators on the behalf of the company who complete the sourcing for us. Now, what happens is, as all of us have seen, that there are rack pickers who collect waste from households, from shopping malls, from shops. Then that is supplied to a comparatively larger stockist, who in turn send it to a truckload balers. So
Okay.
our aggregators' responsibility is to coordinate with these semi-integrated market and supply it to us. So that is how the sourcing of the waste is done.
Okay. So, what all locations do we collect? How many integrators do we have?
I think Anuj Bansal should be able to.
Hello, Rakeshji.
Yeah,
We
please go
have
ahead.
the sourcing is done from approximately 100 kilometers in the range, specifically from Delhi, UP, and NCR areas, because it depends on the freight cost, also plays a major role in the pricing of the Indian domestic waste paper. And roughly we have around 20 to 25 stockists we have, but we have few suppliers with us. Long term, we have long term agreements with them, monthly agreements, quantity agreements with them in place. So the sourcing is not an issue for us
Okay.
in
So
the
can you tell
domestic
us,
paper.
the availability of raw material and the pricing, and is there any competitive pressure that we see can emerge as more people get aware about this recycling?
There is not much of a pricing pressure. The waste paper, as you already know, we use recycled waste paper only. So the product we send in the market in turns comes to us only. So
Okay.
the availability is not an issue with us for the domestic waste paper thing.
And how is the costing done for this? I mean, what price we pay for paper, and what is the duration? Is it every per truck it is, price changes, or it is like for 1 year?
No,
Or...
the price does not change every day. It generally the pricing stands for a fortnightly basis, around 15 to 20 days. The price remains same. We have agreements in place with the suppliers for around 15 days, and then looking at the market scenario, if the market requires a change in the prices, be it upwards or be it downwards, then it is mutually decided with our suppliers.
Acha. And do you have to pay, do you get some credit for getting this material, or we have to pay in advance, or once the invoice is raised? How does the payment happens for this raw material?
Generally, the payment cycle is for the waste paper is on credit basis only. Not much credit is given. We generally try to purchase it on the lower pricing so that the credit portion does not affect our pricing.
Okay, so within 10-15 days we pay for it, or one month?
Approximately 15 to 20 days.
15 to 20 days. Okay, got it. And so what is the typical cost of a waste paper per kg, if you can just, if it is possible to tell us some rough numbers?
Approximately it varies somewhere around 18.5 to 19 rupees per kg, depending on the prices, depending on the whole market scenario as well, it changes.
And what would be the volatility or variability in 1 year? So like last year, what is the high price, low price that we have paid for paper? Is it more than 2-3 rupees, or?
Volatility, Indian waste paper is not very volatile in nature. It does not changes drastically.
Okay.
Somewhere it may change depending on the international market, it may change somewhat, but not drastically. So 1 or 2 rupees, it may change in 1 or 2 rupees upwards in downwards as well. But we make sure that our delivery schedules and our stocks are in place, so that in order to mitigate any sudden volatile pricing changes.
Understood. And the craft paper that we make, meaning what is the selling price for that craft paper and what are the varieties you have for craft paper?
So we have Rakesh, we have various varieties that we are manufacturing. We are manufacturing corrugation grade paper. Then we are manufacturing food grade paper. Then now you see the shopping mall bags, the brown bags that you see in the shopping malls. So that paper we manufacture, not the bags. So we are the paper manufacturer. So these are some various grades that we are trying to manufacture.
And is something paper which is like more value added as compared to less value added? How would you grade them?
The specialty grade papers that we do, the food grade, the carry bag papers, they are the value added products in the market.
Okay.
The corrugation grade
And,
paper for is a standard market, but the specialty grade paper is something that we interact with the consumer. We have to understand their requirements. It is tailor made as per their requirements. Someone may ask for a waterproof paper. Someone may ask for a high strength paper. So those are the value added products that we manufacture for the market.
Okay. So what percentage of your production is value added paper?
So presently, approximately 8 to 10% of the total volume is the value added product. The balance 88 to 90% is the corrugation segment that we are manufacturing.
And what could be the price difference between this value added paper and
pricing is a little business sensitive, so we will not be going by approximation, but on an average, it is a better value product for us, and it fetches us value addition for the company.
Okay. And one question I missed, which Keshav has asked, is the mix of raw material import and export. From what I understood, you said that you buy locally only largely.
We are buying local raw material also, and we are importing raw material from US and Canada also.
Okay.
So, the raw material that we import from foreign countries gives us the strength and ability to manufacture high-end paper.
Okay. So that is an additive that you import from, abroad.
Yes. So the waste paper sources from US and Canada has longer fiber compared to the waste paper available in India.
Okay, understood. Okay.
Sir, may I Keshav here? Okay.
Keshav, please ask your questions on the chat board, please. Thank you. Okay. So, yeah, understood that. Now let's come to the manufacturing process. What are the key costs apart from the paper that we have to incur for manufacturing this craft paper?
So Rakeshji, in the manufacturing process, apart from the direct raw material, our main cost is energy and labor. So that are the two main costs of it, out of which energy is a higher percentage because there is a lot of steam and electricity used in manufacturing paper.
So you have steam and water. So how much energy is actually used per kg of paper?
So we are using approximately about 400 units of electricity for 1 ton of paper manufacturing.
400 units per ton. And what about steam? Is it additional to that?
The steam is additional to that because steam is used for thermally drying paper when you manufacture paper on the dryers on the machine.
Okay, understood.
So
what is the kind of margin we make on paper under the current circumstances?
Come again, please.
What is the EBITDA margin we'll be making on paper segment alone?
So we are doing about 13 to 14% on the operating margins on the paper segment.
13 to 14%. Okay. Now, current capacity is 1,33,000 and our capacity utilization is around 82%, you said?
Yes, yes.
So, what are the plans here? Meaning, what kind of capacity utilization we can go to? Number one.
So our capacity utilization in FY24 was higher because we were operating on biomass.
Okay.
So FY25, the whole year we have shifted our boilers from biomass to waste to energy. So we had to compromise a little on the production volumes because the power plant gives us lesser capacity. Now there are 3 segments to the production process: the pulp mill, the paper machine, and the captive power plant, which gives you electricity and power both. So when you convert from biomass to waste to energy, the efficiency of the power plant, the output of the power plant goes down. That is why we are in the process of installing the 9 megawatt waste to energy. That the 9 megawatt waste to energy will give us further capacities. So that will increase our top lines and bottom line both. We will be able to operate that power plant completely on waste to energy, and it will also provide us enough steam and power to add value, to add production volumes to our system.
So when we say that we are at 82% on 1,33,000 tons, what capacity utilization we can go to when power is available with us?
On the safer side, we would like to target at least 10% addition to the existing capacity.
10% addition. And are there any plans to increase capacity on the paper side beyond this 133?
Presently, not for now.
Achha.
Presently, our focus is purely on the 9 megawatt waste to energy.
Okay, we will come to it. So basically, paper maybe will increase the specialty grade more and try to increase margins.
That definitely we are focusing on, because the specialty grade segment has a higher CAGR. It is increasing at an 18 to 20% market segmentation, and it gives a value addition to the system also. So our consistent focus is to increase production on those levels.
Okay. So the current constraint is the power capacity, which we are increasing.
Yes.
And that will help us increase our production. We will focus more on value addition rather than increasing
energy
volume.
Power plant. Yes, it will operate entirely on waste and will generate more electricity and more steam, and resultantly give us more production capacities.
Okay. So now let's come to the power plant, segment. So we have currently 3.5 megawatt, which is operational, which is working on municipal waste.
Yes.
And we have 1.5 megawatt, which is rooftop solar. Is it commissioned already?
Yes, the 1.5 megawatt rooftop solar is commissioned and operational.
Okay. And we have 9 megawatt for which we have raised money in the IPO. So what are the timelines for this 9 megawatt, power plant, which will be based on municipal waste?
So we are expecting a installation period of about 17 to 18 months for the waste to energy complete 9 megawatt.
Okay, so by end of FY26, FY27, we should be having this plant ready, right?
We are trying our best to close it by the third quarter.
Third quarter of FY27. Okay, got it. Now, can you explain the economics here? How does the municipal waste is, collected? What is the cost that comes to us on per unit basis based on this?
This is an initiative taken by the government of India, rather the municipal bodies present all across tier 1 and tier 2 cities. Now, this municipal solid waste is the waste that is collected from the roads and from heaps. As you see, there are lots of stacks in the tier 1 cities and tier 2 cities. Now, what the government does is, it is an obligation on the government. This is a public waste. Now, the government does is, it subsidizes this waste. It provides fees on clearing this waste. The inert material from the municipal solid waste goes to the highways and the fillings as per government, the municipal solid waste guidelines. So what is not handled is the RDF, the organic matter or the combustible matter that is left over. Now what happens is that combustible matter is shipped to us by the aggregator, and the cost of transport is shared between both of us.
Okay.
So that is how it comes to us at a subsidized cost. The original cost of the material is zero. Even the transport cost is shared between the seller and us, the buyers. So that is effectively a very low cost product, which is a very good source of energy for our incineration in the boilers. Apart from that, we generate EPR credits, the extended producer responsibility credits, on this waste, because a major portion of this waste is plastic waste. So now the Central Pollution Control Board has a very fair platform where it has an offset system wherein any producer using plastic for productions has to account for EPR credits, and he has to purchase EPR credits from recyclers or end of life cycle. For example, here end of life cycle is us. Nikita Papers is an end of life cycle producer. So we produce EPR credits, which are openly, freely traded and sold to them. It is a very good revenue stream for us.
Okay. So can you just tell us, so what is the cost of power? And when we say 14% operating margin for paper, does it include the advantage of the low energy cost?
Yes, for financial year 25, a certain portion of the costing came from waste to energy also.
Achha. Okay, so
and we are expecting, once this the 9 megawatt is commissioned, we will see a drastic gap between the energy costs, what we presently operate, and after the 9 megawatt is commissioned.
So there was this question that from 9 megawatt plus 3.5 and 1.5 already there, so 14 megawatt. How much paper can we manufacture?
So we actually cannot add it up like this, because 1.5 megawatt solar rooftop is only cyclic, is only operational during sunlight days.
That is true.
It is not operational 24/7, whereas paper processing is operational 24/7. So solar rooftop is an initiative taken up by Nikita Papers, which adds green credits to the system. It is an energy, it is an electricity generated out of solar energy, but it cannot substitute the production process.
No, that we have understood. So how much, for running this 133,000 tons per hour, per year, full
Yes.
capacity,
So
how much
presently
power do we need?
we are presently connected 9 megawatt, but the balance power we are drawing from state board also, the UP electricity state board we are drawing, and we are that is going to be substituted by the 9 megawatt. Then we will be completely self-generating all the power that is required for manufacturing of papers.
So 13 to 14% operating margin is including 5-6 megawatt we are taking from the
From
grid.
the grid, yes, and we are
Okay.
that is built to us. We are paying for it.
So what would be the saving once this 9 megawatt is operational?
So our electricity bill for the last year was approximately. I think Atulji will be able to tell better.
Atulji, can you tell us what was the electricity bill last year and what will be the saving after 9 megawatt comes in?
Approximately, we would like to say about 18 to 19 crore was the electricity bill for the previous year. And
18 to 19 crore?
Yes, per annum was the electricity bill for the previous year. And we would like to be conservative on the saving, but when the 9 megawatt is installed, we would not be dependent on the state board for electricity supplies.
Okay. And how much surplus would be left from this 9 megawatt after running the full plant?
So if efficiently commissioned, we are expecting that we will be able to make up from somewhere around 8 megawatt for the process, and the balance should be surplus.
Okay. So around 1 megawatt will be left as additionally available, and we would save few crores on the electricity bill.
Yes.
For internal consumption.
So that will reduce our cost dependence on the state board. Plus, though electricity supply in Uttar Pradesh is very good, but then again you have your seasonal cycles and then intermittent trips from the state board. So that are also a hindrance to the production process. So all this will be covered up by the 9 megawatt self generation.
And the ERP credit that you said, how is it calculated, and how is the pricing for ERP credits? So once this 9 megawatt comes in, what kind of ERP number we are looking at?
Yes, presently the government allows that 60% of the total quantum is credited to our account as EPR credits. So last year, for example, we did approximately 170,000 tons of metric waste per annum, and proportionately we were allowed EPR credits to our system. So once this 9 megawatt is commissioned, the total fuel or the total waste that would be incinerated for generation of 9 megawatt will be approximately 2.5 times of what we are doing presently. And retrospectively, the EPR credits also go up.
Achha. So our capacity is going up by almost 2.5, 3x. So EPR credit will also continue to grow at that level.
In the same ratio.
There's one question on the sustainability of this municipal waste availability. Tushar has asked this question. Can there be any disruptions to this, or there's enough available? There's so much of dump.
So there is plenty available, Rakesh ji. That is physically visible to all of us, that we see that is being piling up in the tier 1 and tier 2 cities. Three cities are also now adopting the model of collecting it and storing it properly, then recycling it and supplying to us. So the municipal bodies continuously keep in touch with us, and there is a pressure from the municipal bodies. Since we are processing this waste, they are in touch with us and they keep an account of everything that is processed. So availability is not an issue.
It's not an
in
issue.
the future. Rather, the government is focusing a lot on collecting waste and putting it to a systematic model.
Understood. There was one question which I missed, which was on the 250 ton per day plant that we have installed. What is the capex involved in that case?
So the installation of this plant started in 2019 and completed in 2021. And the total capex that we had put in this plant was approximately 83 crores.
80 crores.
83 crores, yes.
83 crores. Okay. Understood. Atul has a question on EPR profits. He says, so annually we can do maximum 12.5 crore. Is that correct number?
On the
total EPR profits after the 9 megawatt is operational, current year was 6.5 crore, right?
so presently this year we have booked a profit of 5.29 crores on the EPR
5.29. So 5.29,
last year.
so it will be more than 12.5 crore, right? In any case.
Yes, it will
And
be
is
more.
there any cost associated to sell EPR or
No. It's a freely traded total given by the Central Pollution Control Board. So whatever amount of waste that you process in your waste to energy plant, a proportion of that gets credited to your account directly.
okay?
Yeah, there are proper audits and checks to it, which the government conducts time to time. Your papers are verified, and then the credits are allowed to your system. Thereafter, you have access to those credits. You can log in and you can take a purchase order and transfer to the brands whoever is wanting to procure from you for their compliance purpose.
Okay. Now, Keshav has this question about in our RHP, the electricity bill is 27 crore and power and fuel is around some 43 crore. So I'm assuming the remaining is for steam, etc.
Could you repeat that, Rakesh ji, please? Sorry.
I'm saying, so Atul, no, Keshav has this question. He's saying that in RHP, power and fuel cost is mentioned at 43 crore.
Yes.
And
That includes
only electricity bill is mentioned at 27 crore. So the rest is steam cost or what is it?
Yes. So we what happens is we use fuel to generate steam at a higher pressure. The boiler operates at a higher pressure, then the steam is passed through the turbine. The turbine generates electricity, and the lower pressure steam is processed to the production process. So the energy that we use is divided into segments. One is the electricity bill, and the other is the fuel bill, the fossil fuel that we use for operating captive power plant.
Okay. Now coming to these plants, Jayesh has a question whether these plants are fungible to manufacture corrugated and specialty, or do you really need some additional machinery to do specialty paper?
I would answer it in short because this is slightly specific to our process and
No, we are not trying to become
USP.
engineers.
So there are some machines. No, I will.
Yeah.
Since I will answer it. There are some machines that you install which are there online available with you. So when you are manufacturing a normal product, you are not using those lines. But when you are manufacturing the specialty grade, that process also comes into picture. So there is some difference in the process, but not entirely different.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now coming to so now coming to our sale of product. So how do we sell this craft paper? Do we sell it through dealers, wholesalers, or directly B2B? How does it happen?
Rakesh ji, the corrugation segment that we are manufacturing is sold through distributors. We have long-term relations with distributors who in turn are connected with converters to the tune of about 75 to 100 converters at any given point of time. The converters keep changing, but the distribution system stays so. It is their responsibility to take care of their demands and process it to us. So that is for the corrugation segment. The specialty grade segment may operate through corrugators also, and we are happy to interact with direct consumers also, because that is one segment wherein we need to understand the requirement of the consumer and design the product accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
So even if the order is placed through a distributor, it is handled directly by the company, and we interact with the purchaser first, understand his needs, and accordingly manufacture the product.
Achha. So how does the payment cycle work here? How much long does it take for the payment to come to us?
The payment cycle is shorter for the specialty grade segment because there is a direct interaction. But when you talk about the corrugation segment is something that we are manufacturing for the FMCG segment. So what happens is we are only manufacturing paper. It gets converted into a box. The box is then sent to the FMCG company, packaged into a product, and sent out in the market. So once the payments is received back to the converters, they receive it to us. So for the corrugation segment, the collection period is slightly longer compared to the specialty grade segment.
Okay. So Keshav has this question on how do we take the orders? Meaning we keep on producing what we are producing, or it is backed by we get an order for certain quality. So I'm assuming corrugated we continue to produce as much as we can.
Mhm.
Is that the case? How does it happen?
So once see when you are producing about 88 to 90% of corrugation grade, so that is a regular grade product for which orders are placed well in time. Now what happens is there are certain sizes that are cut on the machine. We cannot process that without an order. So that is
Okay.
also produced on order basis only. For the
Okay.
specialty grade segment, we try to accumulate a certain size of order and then put it to the machine.
Acha.
Because there are various sizes, there are various qualities. Let's say we are processing the food grade. So in that case, we will try to collect order up to a certain quantity, up to a minimum batch size, and then place the schedule with the production team.
Understood. And so there was one question about our participation in international exhibitions, and there also question on some exports.
Yes.
So can you throw some light on what is our export strategy and how is it heading?
So this year we did not have much exports because of the geopolitical conditions going across the globe. But prior to that, yes, we definitely participate in exhibitions, and our focus keeps on exporting special grade paper.
Hmm. Okay. So for pricing of this craft paper, there's a question from Harsh about the competition in craft paper. So what is kind of India's demand? How many players are there who supply craft paper? And is there intense competition, or if you can just tell us?
So if we divide our product mix, Rakesh ji, for the corrugation grade, yes, there are other mills also that are manufacturing the same grade, and it is a fair competition, fair pricing in the market. Demand-driven pricing is there, and production cost different pricing also is there. That is for the corrugation grade. For the specialty grade segment, since it's a one-on-one interaction with the consumers, there is not much competition present in the market. There is us, and there might be one or two other units. I do not want to name them, but not much competition in the market. It is a rapidly growing segment and well catered by us. So
So
that is how.
when you say there's competition in the market for the corrugated paper, but
Yes.
ours is made out of recycled paper.
Yes.
So competition is from recycled paper, or is it from virgin paper, or is it imports? Where is the competition coming from?
So that defines what your raw material will define the grade of paper that you're manufacturing, and likewise you have your consumers, and yes, certain competition is there. I would not define, but it's a very fair competition. It does not bother your sales policies or how you supply your consumers.
Hmm.
That
So
is
who
no
are the
hindrance
main
to us.
competitors in India for us?
There are various mills. They are located segment wise. Let's say we have a cluster in Muzaffarnagar, we have a cluster in Meerut.
So
So if
for
you are talking about
corrugated
the
paper, who would be the key, competitors? If you can name one or two big ones.
so we have genus paper, then we have Paswada paper. To name a few, there are certain competitors in the corrugation grade segment.
And they are based on wood pulp or recycled paper?
Partly both,
Partly both. Acha, okay. Not 100% recycled.
not 100%.
And for the specialty grade, do we have any competition?
For specialty grade segment, we are connected with our consumers directly, and there is not much availability to the consumer. We have to design the product as per their requirement. So yes, there are one or two other players also trying to do. See, anything that you introduce in the market new, it is not that you are the only one who will be producing the same. Replicas will
Okay.
definitely come out, but then it is your USP on how you cater to your consumer, how better you feed him, that keeps you the leader in the market.
So, Shubham was asking this question that for the last 3 years, we haven't grown our top line. And looking at the discussion we are having, maybe the top line may not grow that much because only 10% volume increase we will achieve with, but our margins will definitely improve. So, what is the strategy on the top? My top line is when are we going to increase the paper capacity?
So our interest is to foray into the B2C segment now, Rakesh ji. We are already
Okay.
operational. We are doing a good volumes in the B2B segment, manufacturing various grades of craft paper on Nikita Papers. Now our interest forward is into the B2C segment, increase our presence in the consumer segment directly.
Understood. So currently we are focusing on reducing our costs through, you know, uh,
No, the 9 megawatt waste to energy will give us both, will give us top line and bottom line jumps both.
top line, if not a little bit top line, because 10% your volume will go up.
On the
But what you're
conservative
saying
side.
is that you want to focus on B2C, which will improve your working capital cycle and as well as give you
Yes.
better realization. So when you say
Correct.
B2C, what will you have to do to become B2C? You will have to make boxes yourself, or what will you have to do?
So there are a lot of converters in the market. So what happens is when you manufacture paper, the paper goes to a certain brand for use. Now
Hmm.
that brand certifies the quality of paper, and then that certification gets us help to enroll various converters that supply to the brand. Now we are regular in touch with the brand. Now the brands have, once our paper is certified with them, why not produce products for them? That is what we think. So that is how we are planning to enter into the B2C segment and connect directly with our consumers.
Okay.
So we're looking for strategic how this is to be planned. This is yet in discussion, and we will be coming out with news soon.
Okay, so Keshav has a long laundry list of questions. Let me see if we can handle a few of them. So manufacturing order size, and we have covered business cycle that we have kind of covered. Pre-IPO funds. So he is asking you raise some pre-IPO funds 6 crores. What was the utilization at that time? Have you given any plans for what are the money to be utilized?
No, the pre-IPO funds were taking the working capital cycle only.
Okay. And similarly, is asking for the IPO fund. So out of 86 crore, 50 crore goes for the power plant. 36 goes for the working capital.
IPO was 67.5 crores.
67.5 crore. Okay.
Yes, out of which 50 crores is packed for the waste to energy plant. 5 crores is reserved for the working capital requirements, and meeting out the expenses of the IPO. The other is for the general corporate purposes.
Okay. And he's asking about subsidy expectation. When do we expect to receive the 18.71 crore? Is there any subsidy which is expected to be received?
Yes, we are running the installation of the the PM2, the paper machine 2. We qualify for state government subsidy, and we have already filed papers. And see, it's a government process; it takes time. So we really cannot comment on when the subsidy is to be received, but the compliance and the paper formalities from our end are complete.
Acha. Understood. And I think can you just, Atulji, if you can tell us what is the debt situation on our books at the moment? What is the rate of interest? And is there any debt repayment which is coming up? If you can just throw some light on that.
Rate of interest is 9%.
What is the total debt on our books? How much is term loan? How much is working capital? And what is the interest rate?
Working capital and term loan 9% per annum rate of interest.
And 9% you are saying is the cost of debt?
What?
Your voice is not very clear. So can you just speak up a little bit?
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
9% per annum on interest, term loan and CC, working capital capacity.
Acha. And how much is the amount of term loan and working capital?
The term loan is about 32 crores and CC limit is 88 crores.
Okay. So term loan is 32 crore and how much was working capital?
88 crores.
88 crores. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So understood. So currently, the IPO funds will go for expansion purposes and the term loan prepayment, etc., will continue at its own pace. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we don't have any plans to bring down the debt beyond the natural repayment.
We have no plans to raise that also, Rakeshji. The schedules are already in place for the repayments of debts, and presently the IPO proceeds are being utilized for expansion purposes.
Okay. So I think, now the last question everybody is kind of trying to ask you, what would be the top line growth and margin for FY26? So do you have any guidance to give for these?
So we are expecting an exponential jump once the 9 megawatt is installed. But yes, given the gestation period, FY26 will see the modest industry growth reflecting in our balance sheets, which we are expecting to be somewhere around 7 to 8% growth.
Okay, so 7 to 8% top line growth we are expecting this year. And
Yes.
FY27, we should see a little bit of top line growth as well as cost reduction.
Fourth quarter of the FY27 should show the results of the power plant installation that we are planning to do.
Keshav, power plant cost is 50 crore, not 85 crore. So you can correct that. Amit is saying that short-term borrowing was 145 crore as per the balance sheet data. Is it correct, Atulji?
Yeah.
So 145 crore. So, but we are mentioning 88 plus 32. So we have repaid a little bit this year.
क्या चीज?
No, I think this
Hello?
needs to be clarified.
Amit is saying that short-term borrowing was 145 crore this as per the balance sheet data. Is this correct number or?
No,
7.
this would be reflecting
इसमें
the
during the year
LC capacity, the LC capacity that we operate from bank for the imports of imported waste paper also.
Because Amit is saying term loan alone is 77 crore, not 37 crore. It is wrong, na?
No, that's wrong.
नहीं, सब balance sheet
Please check and
at
correct that
present.
figure.
Yeah, please, Atulji, please go ahead.
दोबारा बताएंगे क्या चीज पूछना था?
Amit Mehta is asking that term loan amount is 77 crore or 37 crore as you were mentioning.
No. Just a minute.
So term loan is not 77 crore.
No.
That figure.
Amit, we can get back to you offline. The term loan is 37 crore and working capital is 88 crore. But if there are any further clarification, we will get back to you. You can reach out to Sakshi from our team. She'll be able to answer all your questions. So I think we have largely covered everything. Ayushi, I think we had a decent year and congratulations on your listing.
Thank you,
And,
Rakesh.
Hello.
Sir, one thing to ask.
Yeah, Atulji.
Yeah. Term loan 77 crores is including unsecured loan.
Achha, so what is that unsecured loan?
Unsecured loan from promoters, directors, and other related parties.
Achha, so what is the terms with the promoters? Is it interest bearing or interest free loan, or how much we are paying for that?
Non-interest bearing.
Sorry, normal.
No. Term loans from promoters are non-interest bearing.
Okay. Okay. So I hope Amit, your question is answered. And if there's any further question, you can just get back to our team.
Sir, one last question. Keshav Jha.
Keshav ji, you will have to type. Sorry, because I haven't allowed anyone.
Only 1 minute, sir. Only 1 minute, sir.
You can
Just
type. We will wait
wait.
for you. Don't worry. Please type your question. Okay. So Ayushi, so all eyes are on FY27 when you ramp up your power capacity. But in the meantime, there would be some 7-8% growth that you are mentioning in FY26. And when you go to B2C, what kind of difference can it make, and what are the plans for going to B2C? Will it happen by FY27? We'll get some action, or we'll have to wait for FY28? Can you give us a little bit about B2C till we wait for Keshav's question?
Rakesh ji, let us wait for the management to finalize the way forward on this. This is
Okay.
still in discuss with the management. So let us finalize a concrete plan and then get back to you on this, please.
Okay. And so Amit is still not satisfied with our debt. He says that the debt is too much. And so are there any plans for what you do with your unsecured loan to the company? Will it some point be converted back to equity? Currently, you can't because you need 75% free float.
Yes. So let us strategically plan this and then get back to the investors for this.
Okay. So, Keshav, you are typing a question, or you can, just write it to us. We'll definitely come back to you with all the answers.
Sir, one more thing, just one thing to ask.
अच्छा बोलिए बोलिए
सर 67 करोड़ का आईपीओ फंड रेजिंग हुआ है, तो आपके आरएच में पावर प्लांट कॉस्ट जो है वो अराउंड 85 लाख समथिंग है, मतलब 86 करोड़ समथिंग है, तो उसमें आपने एलोकेशन किया है 50 करोड़ का, तो बैलेंस जो पोर्शन है वो कैसे आप फंड रेजिंग करने वाले हो, वो एक समझना था.
Keshav ji, there is a techno-economic viability by DNB also enclosed in the RHP, जिसमें the costings जो आप देख रहे हैं, that is the total of the quotations given. Per
Yes.
se, the discounting given, the total cost of capex will be 50 crores only, which has
Okay,
been
sir.
scheduled in the IPO proceeds.
ओके सर, जो 5 करोड़ वर्किंग कैपिटल में आपने एलोकेट किया है, व्हाट विल हेल्प आपकी कंपनी को कैसे बेटर पोजीशन कर, क्योंकि वर्किंग कैपिटल साइकिल आपका बहुत ही वीक है, ऑपरेशनल लॉसेस भी है सर फ्रॉम लास्ट 3 इयर्स के बेसिस पे।
नहीं ऑपरेशन बॉस, हमारा तो EBITDA 13-14% है. वी आर वर्किंग वेल विद द, यस वी एग्री, कोरोगेशन सेगमेंट में थोड़ा रिसाइकलिंग रिसीट्स लंबे पीरियड में आती हैं. वी आर वर्किंग ऑन दैट. वी आर ट्राइंग टू शिफ्ट द स्पेशलिटी ग्रेड सेगमेंट आल्सो टू कवर दैट अप, बट दैट इज व्हाई आप देखिए हमने आईपीओ में से वी हैवंट यूज्ड फॉर डेट रिडक्शन एंड वी हैव नॉट यूज्ड अ वेरी गुड अमाउंट फॉर वर्किंग कैपिटल. वी आर ओके, वी आर मैनेजिंग वेल विद दैट.
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
Thank you, Keshav ji.
Okay, so I think that concludes our call for today. Thank you, Ayush. Thank you, Anuj. Thank you, Atul.
Thank you, Rakesh ji.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for hosting the call, Rakesh ji. Thanks a lot.
And anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to our team. We'll surely help you.